I think I always knew from the time that I decided to go to law school that one day I wanted to be a judge. I've always had a really deep sense of fairness and right and wrong. As a biracial child, I often had, I was too much of one thing and not enough of the other. Having experienced a lot of bullying and things like that, I was often the close friend of other kids who also were marginalized, who really didn't feel like they had a voice, that they could speak up. And so I would speak up for them. I felt very called to the judiciary, but given my background and my history, I never knew if that would really be a possibility or not. I was raised in a household that was rife with a lot of issues. My father had a significant substance abuse problem. I was no stranger to domestic violence in my household, observing use and addiction problems, and also just the rampant poverty that goes with it. My mother would often work 2 or 3 jobs trying to make ends meet and put food on the table. Well, we didn't always have a table, but nonetheless, just trying to survive was quite difficult for me as a child. And that's what really caused me to throw myself into my studies, throw myself into education, because I knew that if I was ever going to make it out of this circumstance, this situation, that I would have to do something different. One thing that really helped me realize that I could be a part of the solution was to see how someone helped me and my mother whenever we were at our lowest point. The court system was involved eventually, obviously, so that we could sever those ties that were not safe for us in that home environment. And seeing how the court system not only helped us start on a completely different trajectory, a completely different path than we ever thought was possible for us. For the first time in our lives, I felt safe. I felt hope. I felt like there was things that could be different. I not only saw that in the sense of being the victim of a bad situation, but also seeing how the court system and it being involved helped my father. For the first time in his history, he had to be accountable for his actions, and it made him take stock of what he was doing and go, maybe I want to walk a different path. And it was from that point that my father was finally able to at least get off of the illicit drugs, which I attribute to lengthening his life and giving him the opportunity to live a life that at least had some hope and some joy in it. One of my greatest honors was to serve as Chief Special Prosecutor over the Domestic Violence Unit in the Oklahoma County District Attorney's Office. I was so honored to receive in 2017 the Governor's Commendation for my distinguished service in the work of domestic violence. It was something I was extremely passionate about, because it was in those moments that I had the opportunity to interject into people's lowest points, both for defendants and for victims, and give them hope, give them a way out, give them an opportunity to see that there are other paths that could be taken, to maybe connect to resources that they had never had access to before. I saw the justice system and my role in that, not as a person who represents a particular person's interest. The victim in the case was not my client. The state of Oklahoma was my client. And in that, I always saw my role as a very unique one, to make sure justice was done, that the rights of the defendant was protected, accountability was accomplished, and that restoration was done, if at all possible, to as many, if not all, the parties. I was the longest running prosecutor in Oklahoma County over specifically that specialty of domestic violence, which I always think either makes me crazy or patient. But I think both of those things equipped me to be able to not only handle high drama and high stress, but also to be able to be even keel and to be the calm in people's storm. And I did that as a prosecutor, and I do that now. I've taken those lessons onto the bench. I can be the one who is level-headed and can be patient and clear about what these individuals need in order to never come back in my courtroom again. After I left the district attorney's office, I was able to serve at the attorney general's office in the consumer protection unit. My time there was absolutely incredible. It was a change of pace, and I got to help some of the most vulnerable citizens in our community statewide. I got to practice all across the state, helping consumers and protecting them against scammers and fraudsters that came after their hard-earned dollars. And I was also able to help the elderly who were often taken advantage of. I was able, while I was there, to recover hundreds of thousands of dollars for consumers and the elderly. Being able to assist those individuals and those citizens in being able to keep their money or to recover their money that was stolen was so important to me, and it's such a rewarding experience. I think one of the most important things that people should look for in whether our judiciary is strong in Oklahoma County is first and foremost integrity. I think it is so important to keep that in their line of sight, to always be transparent, to always tell the truth, and to be honest, and to hold to the rules of law and the rules of ethics that are so incumbent upon us in the judiciary. It is absolutely critical to know that every single member who sits on the bench is going to do the right thing regardless of who likes it or doesn't like it. It's going to do the right thing regardless of what popular opinion is. I have been given the opportunity of a lifetime to serve as a judge in Oklahoma County District Court. I'm a fifth-generation Oklahoman, and I am passionate about seeing this community get better. I have seen so much evolution in our culture and our community here in this city and this state that I want to be a part of seeing us continue to have progress. I want to be a part of continuing the goals of equality, the goals of justice here in Oklahoma County, and to seeing all of us rise up together.